Have you ever dreamed of a bigger life? Promised yourself you'd begin tomorrow and then watched tomorrow slip away? If you've ever felt ambitious but lazy, this tale is for you, and it might just change how you move forever. Once upon a time, in a small village surrounded by endless green fields and tall trees, there lived a young farmer who was strong, healthy, and full of dreams. He would often tell the villagers, "I have the largest piece of land in the village. One day, I will be the richest farmer around. My fields will shine golden with crops. People will come from distant lands to learn my secrets. I'll be the pride of this land." Everyone admired his ambition, but there was a shadow that followed him everywhere. Laziness. When the sun rose each morning, painting the sky gold, other farmers were already in their fields. The young man stayed in bed, telling himself, "I'll start when the sun is higher." When the village men worked under the scorching midday sun, he sat beneath a neem tree, talking about someday. When evening came and others counted their day's harvest, he counted the reasons why tomorrow would be the perfect day to begin. He loved to imagine success, but he hated the hard work that success demanded. His dreams were grand, his actions were nil. One evening, his uncle, an old and wise farmer, came to visit. The uncle stood at the edge of the young farmer's land. The soil was dark and rich, but bare. The whole land lay wasted, growing nothing. "My son," the uncle said quietly, "why is your land empty? You speak of golden harvests, but I see only dust and dry soil." The young farmer laughed it off. "Don't worry, uncle. I'll start tomorrow. My field will be legendary. Just wait and see." The uncle's gaze did not waver. He had heard this tomorrow 1,000 times before. He decided to teach a lesson. He reached into his pocket and pulled out 2 small sacks of seeds. One sack held mango seeds, the other weed seeds. "These are not ordinary seeds," he said. "The mango seed signifies ambition. If you water it, protect it from cattle, and care for it daily, even just a little, it grows into a tree that yields golden mangoes, worth more than gold. But it requires consistent attention, no matter how small." The other sack has the seeds of weeds, which signify laziness. "Plant it, leave it alone. It needs no care. It will rush to cover your land, spreading like wildfire, choking everything in its path. Both futures are in your hand. The choice is yours." The young farmer stared at the seeds. "Of course," he thought, "I'll plant the mango seed." That night, he planned to rise early and sow the seed of ambition. But when morning came, the task felt too big. "I'll do it tomorrow," he reasoned. Days passed. Boredom nudged him at last. One afternoon, he carelessly tossed both seeds into the ground. "Let's see what happens," he muttered. "I can always fix it later." Weeks slipped by. He gossiped at the well, napped at noon, and dreamed out loud. Then one morning, drawn by curiosity, he walked to his field. What he saw brought him to his knees. The laziness seed had exploded into life. Thick weeds covered every inch of the field, swallowing everything. Near the edge, barely visible beneath the weeds, a fragile sprout, his ambition seed, struggled, thirsty and thin, dying from neglect. His uncle returned, scanned the damage, and spoke softly. "This is your life made visible. Ambition is a delicate seed. It needs hard work. Without action, it's just a fairy tale you tell yourself. Laziness grows all by itself and devours what you don't protect. You wanted greatness, but neglect is already claiming your future." The young farmer sank to his knees, fingers trembling over the wilted sprout. For the first time, the truth pierced him. Dreams are sparks. Action is the fuel. Without fuel, even the brightest spark becomes smoke. That night, he didn't sleep. For the first time, he understood dreams aren't enough. They rage as seeds. Without daily care and hard work, they die. He whispered, "If I don't change now, I'll be owned by these weeds forever." Then he remembered something his uncle had once told him. "Laziness isn't who you are. It's just a habit, and habits can change." Before the rooster's cry, he was in the field. He pulled, tore, and yanked the weeds until his palms burned and bled. He watered the ambitious seed. He returned at noon. He returned at dusk. He returned the next day and the next. The weeds fought. He fought harder. On the third sunrise, his uncle appeared again, this time with a small wooden card. 3 lines were carved into it. 1. Make it small. 2. Create easy routines. 3. Be consistent with the above two. The uncle sat on an upturned bucket, nodding toward the struggling sprout. When goals feel huge, your mind flees to comfort. So we tricked the mind by shrinking the mountain. Don't try clearing the whole field in a day. Just pull a few weeds each morning. Water the seed once a day. That's enough. Don't gamble on willpower. It fades. Create a routine. Water at sunrise. Pull weeds at sunset. And no matter what, repeat this every day. At first it's hard, but later, the routine carries you. Momentum takes over. The young farmer nodded and began living the 3 lines. The next morning, he didn't vow to conquer the whole land. He committed to 5 weeds. 5 led to 10. 10 led to a clear corner. The work was hard, his hands bled. But the more he did, the easier it became. The dying plant began to strengthen. New shoots appeared. Within months, the withering sprout became a sturdy sapling. Within a few years, that sapling had grown into a magnificent tree that bore golden mangoes. 1 tree became 10, then hundreds. The once barren land had become the pride of the village. Merchants came from faraway towns to buy his mangoes. His wealth grew, but more importantly, so did his respect. But those who knew him understood. The real transformation wasn't the field, it was the farmer. And when young dreamers asked for his secret, he would hand them a card with 3 lines. Make it small. Create easy routines. Be consistent. Dear friend, you hold the same 2 seeds. Ambition requires your care, your effort, your consistency even for just 2 minutes a day. Laziness grows while you sleep, scroll, or wait for the perfect moment. Your future isn't just in your dreams, it's in your hands. Start small. Stay steady. And your tree will grow, because epic transformations begin with tiny daily steps. Today, not tomorrow, is the perfect day to plant the seed.